Hey there, folks. Welcome to the Amazing Brick Network. My name's Tori Favreau. I hope that this video finds you well. Now, this has been in the making for some time. I am super excited to bring this interview with you with one of my favorite creators on the Amazing Brick Network. And coming all the way from Athens, Greece, we have got Vigalis Entezes. And how are you, Vigalis? It was so nice to see you, my friend.
I'm fine. Nice to see you, me too, my friend. We have talked a long time. We
That's
chat,
right. Absolutely.
and now it's the time to speak live together.
Yes, it's funny, folks, we always do a bit of a pre-show chat and we're like, chat. And then I'm like, now it's for the show. And it's like, oh, this is different now. But it isn't. Okay, we're surrounded by friends. And folks, if you haven't seen Vigalis's work before, it's utterly exceptional. I am a raving fan of his work, and as I am of all the people who are good enough to come onto the show. But Vigalis brings a certain light and humor to his builds that sometimes can be lacking from a more clinical, sterile build. His sense of humor, his wonder, his attention to detail and color, they absolutely gobsmack me. As I've said before, I don't build like you do, my friend. So I hate to say it, as much as I love my Lego, I can't see how all the bits fit together. So whenever I try to do a mock, it is more of a shock, and then I pull apart the block. So without further ado, mate, if you would be good enough just to tell us a bit about yourself, maybe what you got into Lego-wise when you were younger, just what your inspiration is, please.
My first set, it's my brother's set.
Yes.
I have a big brother, and when I'm at childhood, he buy a Lego castle. I don't remember the set. It's a Falcon castle.
Yes.
And it's my first introduction with the Lego, and I play a lot. When I grow up, my mother he buy the introduction first set of the pirate, the figure set, the
Yes.
5 figure, if I remember.
Absolutely.
Yes. And when I grab the pirate and I see the big difference between the 80s and the 90s, because the pirate is at the 90s, and the set of my brother, it's at the 80s. And when I see the minifigure detail and the print, it's updated, and the backpack of the soldier, and whoa, what happened here?
I know, it's next level.
Yes, and when I see that, it's a big update. I must see what happened. I give at the shop. I grab a catalog with all the set, and when I see all the set, the city, because I don't know nothing about the Lego, and we don't have the internet, of course, and
Yes.
to see all this information, and we wait in the paper to do the job. And when I see the catalog and I see the pirate, the castle, all the new stuff, I see I have the trigger, and okay, this is very, very nice. I'm fan at the first time. I'm love with the first.
Yes.
I see the all the stuff, and I have all the set. I love the pirate at the first.
There was something very naughty about the pirates that I liked. They were like cheeky, but at the same time, through the innocence of your minifigures, it was something very beautiful too. I mean, it sort of doesn't matter who you've got, whether it's like Dumbledore or anyone. I always have minifigures about me. But
I have loads, but it's here. It's not here. It's close. I have my Luke. My Luke Skywalker.
Yes, nice.
The correct one, not the.
No, absolutely. So, did you found when you started building? Did you find that you were mainly just building from sets and following the instructions? How old roughly were you?
I if you ask me correctly, you ask me my age.
Not now. I know how old you are. When you were a child and you saw those pirate sets in the 90s, roughly
Okay.
how old were you?
I think I'm eight. I think
Yes.
nine. I think 9, 8.
Okay, yeah, I do. I can understand that. I was the same. I do recall I had this. I was given I was given some Lego system sets. I was given space sets.
Okay.
I'm 10 years older than you. But basically, I remember getting those sets, and I fell in love with the Lego Spaceman. Like to this day, it's like I always don't do too well, but
Okay.
like
Okay.
I've got like that's a Lego space set on my arm right there. It
Okay.
probably doesn't come across on the video very
For
well.
for 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 the space, I love if I remember correct the name, the Black Trons.
Yes, yeah, they came a bit later. Yeah,
And it's a space pirate also.
yes, yeah. So
Okay.
it's a
Okay.
perfect mix of both of them. I love it. But
Yes.
I do remember, like as a kid, and that innocence. And I have spoken about this before, but you didn't put as much pressure on yourself to make things, so it was easier to mock and to build because all I needed was like two sets of wheels and a 2x8, and I had a car. It didn't have to look
Yes.
like one, but
The other is the imagination. When you are
yeah,
a child, the missing part you have in your mind, it's worked.
yeah, absolutely. So let's move forward a little bit then. Did you ever have a dark period when you didn't play with Lego?
Yes, I stopped. If I remember correctly, I stopped 40, 40. Oh no, no, yeah, yes, at 40.
Okay.
And yes, and I start again at 30.
Yeah, I found the
30,
same
30,
thing.
30, 33, 30.
I would have been, I think, about 33 or 34 when I started really getting back into Lego. So, all right, so we move forward in time, harp music plays and sound effects for time movement. Um,
Yeah,
but then we get to a point, so you're 33 or 34, you get back into Lego. You've been back into Lego for about 5 years then, now. Um, when do you realize that you can build pretty darn good things?
actually, when I'm a child, where was when I was a child, when I'm a child. So sorry.
That's okay. That's
I Okay, I have not the set of my brother. We have uh, we have custom Legos from other Legos, but I don't remember the sets. Who have a big we have a big sack with all of these, and
yes.
all the day I do a mock all the day where when I am a child, and now at this time because my job, because I am designers, I am a 3D designer. It's easy to understand. The Lego for me, it's like sta- uh, prepare me for my job,
Yes.
because I learned from Lego with the basic shapes and geometric shapes. And when I go to my job, it's like it's training me before I start my job to
Yes,
do
I like
3D.
that.
And he hope me. It's like I always I'm good with Lego if I remember myself. But in this time, I tried to do the first time I tried to do in in a big. I tried to do my favorite set, and Lego is not approved. It's not even tell me why it's not approved. It's the Edward Scissorhands Castle, because for me it's my favorite movie.
Yes.
And and if you see the movie, the castle is very, very interesting. It's a beautiful, beautiful, extreme beautiful um, garden, and the mid-level castle. It's very unique. It's Tim Burton
Of course.
design. And when I prepared this for the Lego idea, it's the first attention for me, and it's not approved because I don't know. You don't answer me because I read an email and tell me why. I don't have a problem, but I understand why you not approve. This has happened before 5 years. The Lego idea did not have the window to write if before started it's okay or not okay with IPs, etc. And this is when I'm not disappointed because I work with this model 2 months. I download every photo from the movie print screen, and I work what is the castle, what is the position of the statue and everything. And when Lego tell me it's not approved to upload to the competition, I say, oh, I don't build something else. But when you start it, it's always motorize you to do it again and again and again.
Absolutely. You always want to improve upon what you're doing and try to create that opportunity for yourself. I am really, really impressed with the more recent things that you've been doing. Like even in recent memory, of course, like you showed me the most amazing Joker Batmobile. Did you create that out of bricks or did you digitally design that?
I don't have the bricks I want, because if I have the bricks I want a second house. This is the problem of
yes, yes, of course.
We need the house only for the store, everything.
Absolutely. I must admit, like it does take up. It's funny. People look upon our passion, and all they see is the clutter, and it's like, oh, that's a messy hobby. And I guess in some ways it is, but to us it's beautiful at the same time. But of course, like not all of us are lucky enough to have a massive house. As I mentioned to you, like I'm in a 2-bedroom apartment. I can't have the Lego room that I used to have when I had a house. So you digitally designed the Joker mobile, let's call it that. That was absolutely beautiful. By the way, Lego, you really should have a look at that design and put it out and just give this guy money because it looks phenomenal. Please send me that photo again. But then we go into all sorts of things like, you regularly go in the Lego Ideas competitions. And would you like to tell everyone your Lego Ideas ID, please?
My Lego idea is Delusion Brick.
Delusion Brick. It just sounds better coming out of your mouth than mine. Okay, but so if you do look on there, Vigalis has a lot of stuff that he's built, as do a lot of our other creators as well. So let's support him and go on there and have a look at all the different designs. I love the fact that you get involved with the competitions, that Millennium Falcon for Christmas. Folks, it was like, I will get a photo of Vigalis for you, but and I'll put it up right here and now. But basically, as you can see in the photo, now, Vigalis, I am pretending the photo's up there. So, folks, forgive me, it's not there yet when we're talking. But it's Santa, but it's the Millennium Falcon. It's like, I'd never seen anything like it before. It was so cool. And you absolutely knew that it was the Falcon, but you absolutely knew that it was Santa. It was beautiful. So thank you for sharing that. Now, your latest masterpiece, and I do think this is a masterpiece, and it's something I'm curious about. You recently have made, and it is up on the ideas page, you've done the Karate Kid. And everyone should know who the Karate Kid is. Daniel's son, Mr. Miyagi. I love it. I love it. I love it. But you've reproduced Mr. Miyagi's house and the training environment And I am just absolutely floored. Now, folks, in case you don't know who the Karate Kid is, I'm going to cry if you don't know. I will cry. But basically, if you look at Netflix now, there is a sequel to it called Cobra Kai. So if you want to know why Cobra Kai exists, it's because of the Karate Kid. And there were a couple of movies in that, but we're focusing on Karate Kid #1 and Mr. Miyagi, his training room. Mr. Miyagi was an older Chinese man who taught Daniel, who was being bullied, how to defend himself. What made you think of doing that? Tell everyone. Tell them now.
Actually, thank you very much for all these nice words to tell me, and the compliment. And after, when I start to have the idea, this idea I have 3 months before, and I say to myself, okay, Karate Kid is, because I'm fan of the movie, of the old movie, and the sequels of the Cobra Kai.
Yes.
But actually, if you see the second season of the Cobra Kai, they have the old house. They build it again because it's a set house.
Yes.
Okay, but it must be represent the old house. It's the same house of the movies. The only change is the paint. The only change the painting stuff. But when I see because one night I see the old movie again, I see, and for me the house it's the most iconic, because the house it's changed the Daniel life, because this is the place of training for the Daniel, and I pick this place and I translate to Lego, and I said myself, okay, this is the place, and actually it exists in the 80s, and now it exists in now. It's connect to different timelines.
Yes.
And it's very, very strong to do it, to my mind, and I create it. And I download many photos from the house. I try to do a blueprint in the research. When I upload it, the only I have in my mind to be better, but it's okay, because when I upload it, I forget to add more figures, and I want to add the figures of the Cobra Kai to play with two different timelines with the same set. Actually.
Nice. Yeah, it's sort of like Stranger Things, how you've got the upside down kind of thing.
Yes,
but
instead
it's a timeline. I love it.
Yeah, yes, and you play like Daniel LaRusso and the story with Mr. Miyagi at 80s, and you have the Daniel LaRusso, the old Daniel LaRusso with Cobra Kai characters, and play with the new, the young people with this set. And actually, you have one set to connect all the youngers with the old.
Absolutely. So I love that idea, and I think it's a very beautiful thought that you had, because of course it's like a chance to have the younger people who know about this Cobra Kai, but their parents to also have a play factor with their children by using the older figures too, and they can all wax on, wax off.
Yes. The start always is the wax on, wax off. The start of the Karate Kid is this line.
Yes, absolutely. Now, in case you guys haven't seen the Karate Kid, basically Mr. Miyagi brings a bullied Daniel to his home and starts to teach him. But we don't see traditional karate teaching. What Daniel ends up doing, he feels like he's just doing jobs for Mr. Miyagi. But they're actually training him the movements of karate, but through fixing up his house for him. But one of the things is the wax on, wax off. And Mr. Miyagi has this car and it needs waxing. And so Daniel, I'm going to do the movements like he's waxing on and he's waxing off. And eventually he does get sick of Mr. Miyagi telling him to do jobs. And from memory, Mr. Miyagi then does a strike, and Daniel instinctively is able to deflect it because he's being taught.
Yes.
It becomes muscle memory.
Yes. training muscle memory for with works.
Yes, exactly. I wish I could find someone who I don't know what I'd teach them, but they just fix up stuff around my house, and I'll go, "It's for the greater good. It's for the greater
Yes, yes,
good.
yes,
You'll benefit from this one day."
yes,
So
yes, yes.
the level of detail in this build is nothing short of incredible. Did you do it in Lego Digital Designer or Studio?
I have, because my job, I have a lot of programs, and it's helping me that. I work with a digital designer, but the Lego digital designer is dying, and we must move on with the studio. I work with both programs, and after for the finish, I work with Max 3D Autodesk, a program for the camera and animation, for the lighting stuff and material, to do more realistic and more professional.
Well, I know this is what you do for a living, and I've seen your animations. They're fantastic. But to say it looks like a real set, like already. And I know that other people do builds like that as well. But folks, imagine, and I've already got photos up because Vigalis is going to provide me with the photos, so I'll put them all up as we're talking. But really and truly, if you look at this set, it belongs in a box already. I mean, it could be something that you would happily, because of the dimensions and spacing, I mean, it may look sort of out of sorts, but if you had a bigger Lego city environment, a Vigalis's build, it fits in there. Like it just works. It's beautiful. And the level of detail that he's done, I mean, folks, seriously, he's done power lines. I mean, that's insane. And I know that sounds stupid, but as a Lego person who loves Lego, for you to do power lines, I don't think I've seen power lines done before in a build. People don't think of doing that. You've got them going across the front of the building. The fence is all rickety and sort of not quite right. I mean, I remember the movie and you've got it perfect. I mean, I can imagine walking inside your build and expecting Mr. Miyagi to make me start doing jobs. It's just when you've got, like, do you know roughly the brick count at the moment?
The brick, sorry?
The brick, how many bricks are in that build, just approximately?
3,000 and something more. I don't remember.
No, look, and it is that stunning. I would imagine there would be thousands of bricks involved. So let's pretend now, my friend. We'll pretend for a second.
Yes.
Lego, in their wisdom, and all of your votes, folks. Now, just in case you don't know, there is a website called Lego Ideas. Some people never have heard of this site, but it's called Lego Ideas. If you see things that you like on this show or on anyone else's show or pictures online, they may be on Lego Ideas. So you can just Google search Lego Ideas, create an account, and you can actually support. You can vote for these builds. And what Vigalis is counting on, and what I'm hoping for him and our other wonderful builders, is that you go on there and you click support, that you're going to support his project because you believe it's good enough to be a set. And trust me, this is good enough to be a set. Like we've got the beautiful sets like the 123 Sesame Street. If you guys like that, it was a guy like Vigalis who made it, and then Lego took the idea and made it into a set. So now you've got your 10,000 supporters, okay, and it'll happen because it deserves it. But Lego are now looking at it. They want to make it into a set, and now basically they've said to you, this set isn't viable as it is. Viable meaning, you know, we can't afford to do it like this. We have to do a fascia, just a front.
Yes.
What parts of that build would you like to keep in that set?
Actually, it's a very tough question, because it's like redesign. And when you redesign, you must decide what you keep it. But what I keep it, okay. I keep one car, okay, not two.
Yes.
I keep a small part of the garden, not all the garden. But the house, actually, it's 3 room, and I don't know if I delete some room.
Yeah, and that's fair enough because it is such a huge part of the build.
Yes, yes.
And it's, I guess it is what makes people go, oh, that's the Karate Kid house, you know?
Yes,
You
yes,
start
yes.
taking rooms away from that and you start to lose a bit of what it is. It's it is one of those builds where the focus is the building, as opposed to the 123 Sesame Street, where that the guy who made it modular or like a dollhouse, and then Lego simply just made it into a bit of a front,
Yes, yes.
which you could get away with because as soon as you put, you know, Big Bird next to it, you, oh, yeah, it's Sesame Street, oppa, you know,
Yeah,
that sort of.
yeah.
But yeah, I adore this building. The amount of, like, have you got any revisions or are you happy with it as is now?
No, if because the number of the bricks, it's a problem. If
Mhm.
we have unlimited number, I create more detail. But if I change something, I don't change something. I'm very sure this is very, very close to the house.
It is.
The
I can
most,
tell
the,
you it is.
the most difficult part for me is the roof, but the roof it's very, very easy to move to open it. I have the small connection to open very, very easy.
Yes.
And the difficult of the roof is if you see in the building, there exist 3 main building, but the roof is from each building it's a different shape. It's a different triangle shape, and in one building it's like that, the other building is like that, and the other building it's like that, and it's difficult to all these things to blend it well.
Yes. Well, you've certainly done a fantastic job. Honestly, I when I do look at it, it is the building, it's the house. Just the level of detail is stunning. And one thing I do want to like sort of say to our viewers is, folks, even though like I'm the first to admit I cannot really make a mock, not to the standard of a lot of people, but I guess I've been around Lego for such a long time. I do think that I've got a good eye for the detail. I just can't make it. So I'd be like an editor. For me, I look at that house, and folks, you've got to think about this. A lot of people submit modular buildings to Lego Ideas, and the modular buildings, whilst they're beautiful, I can't wait for the police station, but whilst they're beautiful, they conform to a certain pattern of building. So in a way, they're easier to make, even though they do look complex. They follow a formula. So for Vigalis to make a house, that is next level. Like, that's harder than a modular building. I honestly do think it is. The challenge of building all of those dimensions, and his build even accounts for the backyard. So like, it doesn't matter which direction you look, there's detail there. It's not like the upcoming police station where there's just a blank fascia. He's got a backyard. You turn that around when you make that set, there is stuff there. It's amazing. I love it. So thank you for like just how much thought you've put into this. I think for terms of sentimentality, I like you took me straight back to when I was younger and I saw that movie. You know, I may as well have jumped in a DeLorean, done the 80 miles an hour and just with Doc Brown and ended up back in the Karate Kid world. It was fantastic. So I do appreciate it. But Gallus, what we'll do, my friend, is we'll wrap this up, okay? But are there any other last thoughts that you'd like to give to the viewers out there?
I mean, play with Legos, with Lego, sorry, without C, with Lego, and be creative.
Absolutely. Thank you so very much for talking to us today. It's been an absolute pleasure and a privilege. You are just such a good person, and on top of that, a very, very talented one. So thank you so very much. This has been Vigalis.
Thank you very much for me. Thank you very much. It's be honored for me. Thank you.
And likewise, my friend. Until next time, bye-bye for now.